Hey, look at that, we're live. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Movie Club. But this is a special Halloween themed movie club that I have entitled All Hallows Movie Club. Patent pending, because I don't know if that's a good name or not, but whatever. Uh, my name's Trey1. Everybody just calls me Trey. It's nice to see you, and I hope you guys enjoy our little stream. So, let the other two introduce themselves.
I am Nina Beton, but just call me Nina. I'm your local robot enjoyer. Nice to meet y'all again.
Caught me in the middle of like eating a fish full of popcorn.
Hey, that's the best part.
I know, right? My name is Aligar. Some people call me Aligar. Same thing, same name. Flip flopped in between. I am a Doulahan VTuber with a mini debut coming up in 2 days on a Friday at the 13th.
Yeah.
Which in
Oh, sorry.
six months from Friday, it'll be my birthday.
Oh, nice. That'll be cool. Had a nice
Little fun
special.
fact as well.
Mhm.
I was born on a Friday the 13th.
Oh, that's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So you
I
were
like to
made
celebrate
for.
everyone.
So you were made for spooky season.
Oh, 100%. Hell yeah.
I hope you have something special planned for your birthday.
We'll see. We'll see what kind of things I have planned.
So like usual, I always start off movie club with like a little question teaser just to get us talking a little bit. Um, let's see. It's Halloween, and this week's theme is paranormal. So my question to you guys is, what kind of paranormal creature would you guys like to be? Like a ghost, vampire, werewolf. All obviously, alligator will probably be
Mm-hmm.
Doulahan, but
Mm-hmm.
besides that, obviously. Oh, yeah.
Mm. Um, it's difficult. I have always been a big fan of it's tough. Vampires and werewolves, the two sides against one another. I've always been a fan of both, so it's hard to kind of decide.
Well, I mean, your
But
favorite person in the world is Astarion. This is Astarion, so
let's just say, yeah, vampires are definitely a good way to go.
vampires are fun. Hey, they're dead and they can fly and they got like control over so many different things. So that's always a good pick. So, but yeah.
Hmm.
Nina, do you have an answer to that?
Well, as a furry, I will pick a werewolf for obvious reasons.
Hey, not a bad choice. Not a bad choice. We have the vampire and the werewolf here.
Perfect Twilight moment.
I know,
Hmm.
right? Does that mean I'm Bella because I haven't chosen anything yet? Like,
Yeah, see, my favorite supernatural creature is a human. They're kind of weird. They're just out there, man.
I know, right? Let's see. I wonder what I would want. I don't know. I'd love to be a ghost. A ghost would be fun to mess with people. Or it might be like Casper, the friendly ghost. That would be also
Mm-hmm.
be a nice little ghost boy that helps people. But everyone just gets scared of me.
Mm.
Thank you guys for answering my question. I know I didn't give you much time to think about it, but I always appreciate it.
We were supposed to have time to think about it?
I don't know. I don't give people enough time to think about it, so it's easier that way. I don't even think about it. I always forget my question like before we even start. So
Should
cool.
have that stuff written down.
I really need to start writing that down because usually I'll come up with like a really good question and I'll forget it because I just do that. Um, but yeah, but thank you guys for as always. But yeah, you guys ready to get started on our two paranormal movies that we have?
Let's get started.
Okay. Let's see. PowerPoint. Hell yeah. I think I can actually. Let me try sharing it through Discord. Maybe that will work. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
There we go.
Perfect.
Let me see. Beautiful.
Me finally figuring out how to use things correctly. But yeah. So, as I said, this is special Halloween month of movie club. Each week we have a new theme. For the starting week, we got Paranormal. Technically, it was supposed to be on Sunday, but we had to push it back until Wednesday. So don't worry about that, because don't be surprised when on Friday we're watching the new movies already. Um, but yeah, no. So for this week, we had Paranormal, and we just like normal movie club. We put them on a wheel. We got suggestions from everybody, and it was completely random on what was going to come up. So this for this week we got The Craft with Nev Campbell, and then we have A Nightmare on Elm Street with Freddy Krueger. Yeah, the Nightmare was Nina's choice, and then The Craft was Zara's choice, and Zara will be about halfway through. So, but just to get started, we're going to start with The Craft. Is Welcome to the Witching Hour. I never even noticed that, but if you can't tell, it's about witches. Who would have guessed? But
not the good kind of twitches either.
Yeah, no, it's not the Twitches. So who actually cares? Nah, this is actually a pretty good movie. We'll just start with the characters first. So we'll start with the main character here. Her name is Sarah, played by Robin Tunney, I guess. She's the new girl in town who has telekinetic powers, but wants to just be a normal girl. Why? That's really boring. She runs into this group of girls who have their own little witch circle. She gets thrust into the world of magic and gets some interesting friends, and don't notice that I misspelled some and put so. My god, I can't type to save my life.
Hey, listen, I posted on Twitter too that even though English is my first language, I cannot speak it properly.
Oh, I can't speak it in the slightest. I mess it up royally
Speak,
every
read,
time.
write.
Cursive, so it's fine.
But yeah, no. So Sarah is our main character in this story. We follow her throughout the story. She's she moved to LA from San Francisco, right? Oh, yeah, it was San Francisco. Santa Fe is Casper, not. I watched that last night, so brain is getting mixed up on California place. Um, but yeah, no, she moved from San Francisco with her parents to LA, and she goes to this new Catholic school where she shows off her telekinetic powers when no one's looking, even though it's the middle class, and gets like thrown into this little witch circle. So, what did you guys think of Sarah? Character.
As a main character, I think she was like decently written, and I like her hair a lot. Not gonna lie.
Her hair is nice, kind of like a
Yeah.
brownish red.
No, it's
Kinda,
that what is it? This is '90s movie, that '90s style
yeah,
kind of look.
definitely, most definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Just it's just kind of just a normal main character, kind of simple. not gonna lie, but she's very powerful magic wise. So next, we got Nancy, who's the leader of the little magic circle who wants to use her magic powers to get rich and get rid of her abusive stepdad. Warns Sarah about getting close to Chris Hooker, which his last name was Hooker, so he's already like,
Mhm.
you know,
Red
at a
flag.
disadvantage in life. But yeah, uh, I gotta go to the bathroom. Do you just mind talking about Nancy for a little bit? I'm so sorry.
Sure.
Go piss, boy.
I think she's yeah. We'll try and drag it out. No, I think she's interesting. I feel like in the time of the goth kind of phase, it's like every movie, especially in the '90s, always has like the one person who's like really heavily into like Wicca and magic and tends to have like that darker look about her.
Yeah, and I think they like did her like a design like very well, and her costuming as well.
Yeah, like I mean, besides when they're like out of uniforms, I actually think like some of the was it the costume design for stuff um tends to be pretty nice.
Indeed. Also, I did before I watched the movie, I did not know that like a couple of TikTok audios were from the movie, specifically from her. For example, in the one scene with Chris, when she's saying like, he's sorry, my ass. For example, I did not know that was from there, so it was kind of fun to learn that.
Hmm. Yeah, it's like when you start watching a lot of these like older movies and stuff, you definitely start to like realize there's a lot of little audio spurts that come in and out of stuff. So
Very fun learning experience.
right. I do think it's also very interesting. Like characters that are like this are often like portrayed as well as having like at least one, if not like both parents being like super abusive and stuff like that. It's a very it's a very interesting like trope that kind of goes on with that.
And like to some people, probably like relatively relatable as well.
Mhm. Mhm.
I have a spider one sec.
Yeah. Everybody's getting attacked today, it seems.
Yeah, the bugs just be entering my room at this point.
Trying to make themselves nice and cozy at home.
Just for Halloween as well.
I'm trying to put up those real Halloween decorations. I've always been scared too, like if I ever put up like Halloween decorations and it's like the fake spider web, and then if I ever took them down, there'd be real ones living in there too. And I'm like, you know what? Let's just not chance it at all. Welcome, welcome.
Yes, I am back. Sorry about that, everybody. Uh, I like to open with everybody, but I have ulcerative. So sometimes my stomach is all like, "Hey, guess what? Time to go." So sorry, sorry if I disappear at times.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
Whoa. But yeah, no. Luckily I have wireless headphones, so I kind of heard your whole conversation. So uh,
You've been stalking us.
but yeah, no. I agree with everything you guys said. I like her costume design and everything. And spoiler alert, she's technically the villain of this movie. be kind of kind of funny. They kind of just made the, I don't know, kind of emo kind of character the villain, and it's just all like,
Mm.
yeah, who would have guessed, really? Um, but yeah,
Well, I think in her like motivations too, it's definitely revealed that it's like
yeah,
it's that thing of where like, oh, what is it? It's a superhero saying. It's like with great powers come great responsibility, and it's kind of like one of those things where it's like power tends to get to the people who try to use it for like money or bad things. Like getting rid of her abusive stepdad, I feel like is just
I
a
think that's
natural kind
fine.
of like
Yeah,
yeah, it's like a natural kind of thing. But it's like then on top of that, it's like okay, how much farther can we actually go with stuff?
yeah, and and it is kind of subtle that she becomes the villain, especially if she does great like facial expressions and stuff like that. If you see, well, obviously, I don't know if we'll see actually scenes. I forgot which scenes I added to this PowerPoint, but if you notice, sometimes in like the late scenes when they're doing magic all together, you can see like she has like a look at Sarah and stuff like that, like feeling threatened, position, circle stuff. So it's very subtle, but it is a nice way to show that conflict is brewing, stuff like that. So also she was in some I was so much more Sunday. She was in something else that I forget what. I'll Google it also. The Water Boy. That's where I know her from. She's in The Water Boy. I don't know if you guys have seen that comedy or
Never seen.
it is a Adam Sandler. It's one of those Adam Sandler comedies, and like I think it was the nine. I think it was 90 late 80s, 90s. Um, but that one was about Adam Sandler playing a water boy. In
Mm-hmm.
turn, becomes like a winning lifer in football, something like that. So yeah, but she plays the love interest, and her character, to be truthful, is kind of the same. She's just more uh Bayou in the Water Boy. So
Mm.
I don't know what Sarah's actress has been in. I have not seen her before. But we'll move on to the next one. Obviously, we got Bonnie, who is I always forget. It's either Nev Campbell or Neve Campbell. I think it is Neve Campbell, but she's also a member of Magic Circle. She has burns all over her back from an incident with fire, and she takes up magic to help get rid of the scars. She's the first to see Sarah use powers. Uh, I liked her character. I think it was a very intriguing reason to her wanting to like get into magic and stuff like that. So, but yeah, what did you guys think of Bonnie?
She reminds me of I don't know if you've ever seen it. Oh gosh. It's like a hold on, I gotta go look it up. They just did a remake of it. Yeah, Charmed. She reminds me of Holly Marie
Uh,
Combs.
okay, I have not seen Charmed. I've heard good things about it. Was it a movie
Okay.
first and then a series, or was it just a series?
I think it was a series. I think it was a series. And then they redid the show. And I don't think a lot of people liked the remake.
I'm not surprised. Not many people
But
end up doing that, but
she kind of reminds me of a very young um, Holly Marie Combs. But
well,
yeah.
if you're a big horror fan, you probably know Ev Campbell um, from a certain little series called Scream. You have seen those movies.
I have actually never seen Scream.
Well, more than likely, someone will pick it for slashers,
Yeah,
so you might end up
right.
watching Scream. It's a great movie. Um, but she is the main character in movies. So she, except for like the recent one, she's not really the main character anymore. Uh, since Scream 5, it's kind of been like a. It's not a reboot. It is a sequel, but it has like a brand new cast. So like you don't need to technically watch the other ones to get it. Um, but so she's the main character in those movies, which is also funny because Skeet Ulrich, who plays Chris Hooker in this movie, is also in Scream. In Scream, and he plays her boyfriend.
That's hilarious.
What a coincidence.
I know, right? These two got two separate horror movie roles because this is a horror movie. Don't get me wrong. Um,
In
and
the same year as well.
it was in the same year. It was 1996. This came out in May of 1996, if I remember. It was either May or March. And then Scream 1 came out in December of that year. So they even came out in the same year, which is amazing to know. But yeah. Um just to go more into her character, like I said, I like her kind of arc where she's very reserved, like I don't know, she's very shy about her scars and stuff like that, and she's embarrassed by them. Um and so the reason she takes up magic is to literally get rid of scars. And it's in the movie, once she finally gets rid of the like her scars removed, she's like more confident, but in turn that makes her more narcissistic and stuff like that. So yeah.
Yeah, it's almost kind of like I feel like the movie has like the way of describing like magic as a um like a personality kind of
Hmm.
altering or like enhancer. It's like they take whatever characteristics they have and they just dial them up
Yeah.
with stuff.
Yeah. I totally agree with that. Um like in the movie the say that magic returns to you 3 times. So whatever you cast a spell on, it gets returned 3 to you. Um,
Mhm.
frankly, I will say that's one of the points that's not hitting this movie too hard because technically none of that stuff comes back onto them. Um, but yeah, I wish they kind of did that more, but we'll get into that more later. But yeah, that's Bonnie. So we'll move on to I believe it's the last main character that I put on. So it's Rochelle, played by Rachel True. She's another member of the Magic Circle. She gets harassed and bullied by a girl named Laura Lizzie. So she takes up magic to get revenge at her racist bully. Yeah, there's racism in this movie. So, and yeah, obviously a very tough subject to talk about and stuff like that. But uh, obviously, Laura Lizzie is a terrible person, and personally, I wish more happened to her than what happened in this movie. So,
Honestly.
Yeah.
like, like all that Rochelle does to her is make it that she loses her hair. Like she just can't grow her hair ever again. Which I get is also bad because like also chunks of like skins falling off. But she was very racist, and something worse should have happened to her. Uh, but yeah, no, I did like Rochelle as a character. That she was very fun and until the end, very nice. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's probably the best one out of the cast.
yeah, I enjoyed her very much. She's also very pretty. I will state that as well. She's very pretty.
I
Uh,
agree with you.
I will
yeah,
say, like I feel kind of bad because I would like to see her kind of shine a little more. Like I compared to
Yeah,
the other three, she definitely seemed more like a
kind of a background.
supporting
Yeah,
like background character.
she was there throughout most of the movie, but they didn't give her character more to do. And with that subplot of like racism and stuff, I think that should have been highlighted more. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and like obviously the consequences of racist should have been highlighted more than just, oh, you're gonna lose your hair now. So, but yeah, I do obviously agree. I wish more was given to her role, but yeah, okay. I think that was all the main cast. I don't know if I did another characters. I did not. So we'll just go
Mm.
on to the first scene. I guess what I guess before we start the next scene, I guess we should uh let's see. I guess the only other like character noteworthy character is a guy named Chris Hooker, which we already stated. He's the
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's the asshole who's played by Skeet Ulrich in this movie. And basically he asks Sarah out on a date. He insinuates he wants to sleep with her. She doesn't, and then in turn, he then spreads a rumor around the school that they slept together. She was the worst he's ever had, type deal. You know, normal high school stuff. So, but yeah, he's a complete asshole in this. So,
As a usual American high school whore, you know.
yeah, he is a usual American whore, that's for sure. So, yeah. I think that's all the notable characters. I guess just a quick summary of the movie is, like I said, Sarah, the new girl Sarah, basically just goes to L.A. Uh, the three girls that are in the magic circle notice she has magical powers and that she's very powerful. So she joins that. They kind of like integrate her and like become friends with her. And then they all use their magic to get revenge on people. It's actually a very simple plot until the end. The end gets a little bit more complicated, but up to then is just a very simple plot.
You know, the
Uh,
usual stuff that comes with magic in high school.
yeah, basically, yeah. I'm pretty sure if most people had magic in high school, stuff like this would happen. Like I don't know, in Harry Potter, they're all like whimsical and stuff, but I feel as though a lot of those teenage kids would use that magic to mess with each other. So okay, uh, did I miss anything important that you guys think I we should go over before we get started in scenes or thoughts? Can
I don't think so.
Okay. Sounds good,
Well,
though. Yep. Okay, so this first scene is Want to See a Magic Trick, which I only just now realized is technically a. Is that in The Dark Knight? Isn't that what the Joker says before he does that trick with the pencil? If you
I
guys have
think
seen The
Never
Dark
seen
so.
Knight,
that movie.
I think he says "Want to see a magic trick," and I didn't even realize that. Um, but yeah, this is actually where The Dark Knight got its inspiration, as you'll see in a second. Um, but yeah, so we'll just start the scene right now. This is so Sarah has finally started attending school. This is her first day. They're in French class, obviously. I don't know. I speak Spanish, so but yeah. There's Skeetle Ridge. His
Mm-hmm.
heyday. I guess if you're a big fan of Riverdale, I guess it's not his heyday, but
oui, beaucoup de lait.
Quel est Dieu?
Eh bien, notre nouvelle élève, Mademoiselle Bailly. Votre français est formidable.
I wish like French classes in high school or college were like this because they were definitely not at all.
Yeah. I don't know. I only took one second language class, and I was in middle school, and that was for like half a semester. So,
Yeah, I don't think unless you get up into the higher like courses, uh it doesn't get like that fluent.
yeah. I think in college it gets to that fluency at some point. Also, I like that Sarah just starts doing this in the middle of class. Like, the teacher was still looking her way.
I was gonna say if she was just like having the pencil stand there, it would be different because then that would be like, oh my
that's
god,
just.
she's got like incredible balance. But the fact that it
Mm-hmm.
was rotating is
Yeah, it's just a normal, like, when it's standing, it's just a normal trick that you can pencil. Um,
mm,
but the turning and it grinding into the desk, the guy in the blue shirt behind her just does not care at all. Like the two guys on either side. Like, I don't know about
yeah.
you.
It's only the girl a couple seats away that sees it.
Yeah, I don't know about you guys. I looked around class all the time because I would get bored or
Yeah, he gets
just
bored.
like you get bored. You look around. Like, I would definitely notice that if someone like right next to me. Uh, and the funny thing is she doesn't want her powers to be known. She's just openly doing it right now. So
It's what is it? Plot hole.
yeah, it's it's just one of those movie things where it's all like, no, I don't want to like research. I don't want to become stronger with my powers. I don't care about them, but I'll just randomly do it just because. But yeah, I do like this little scene though, and I like that it's Nev Campbell that sees her do this first. Um, because like after this point, like Bonnie is like the first one to like accept her and stuff like that at the school. So thoughts, concerns. I know it's not the biggest scene, but I figured it was important to go over.
No,
So
it's like the one scene that like kind of makes the movie, but I don't know, it's weird. It introduces some stuff, but um it's also just weird because it's like you were like you were saying, it's like she doesn't want her powers to be known, but here she is
yeah,
demonstrating her powers in the middle
yeah.
of class.
It's a fun scene, but it definitely is a big plot hole in the movie. But I mean, when it comes to movies, like if it's entertaining, I don't really care about that too much. It's just also fun to nitpick it at times. So,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah. Nina, you got anything to say about this scene?
You guys already said everything, so there's nothing left I
Okay,
would.
sounds good. Don't forget you can interrupt when it like. I know I do it by accident all the time, but so. We'll move on to the next scene. Next, it's Let's Hold Hands and Sing Songs. I don't know why I titled it this way, but that's what I titled it. Uh, at this point in the movie, let's see. Sarah's gone on her date with Skeet Ulrich. I refuse to call him Chris Hooker because it's just a dumb name. Um, and so the rumors about her are already going around, and forget if they've already done. They've okay. They technically have done something magic. I wanted to add this scene in, but I couldn't find it on YouTube. It's the scene. So basically, what happens after school that day? Sarah, and the rest of the circle go off and go check out a shop, and it turns out to be a magic shop. and they buy a book and or they steal books. They go there and steal from her all the time, but the lady knows this but lets them come into the shop anyway. It's funny to say the least. But while they're out on their day in the town, there's this random homeless man that showed up earlier in the movie and sees Sarah again. He has like a snake and he starts like chasing her. And so while this is happening, obviously Sarah's running away from him, and the girls are chasing after her. And she like crosses the street, and the man goes into the middle of the street and gets run over by a truck. Once again, really wish I had this scene for you guys, but I would not find it on YouTube. Uh, but and it like shows him getting hit and run over. It's actually pretty graphic. Um, but they all like have this aha moment. That it's like I knew that was I wanted that to happen type thing.
Mm-hmm.
Which I don't think that proves you have magic powers. He's standing in the middle of a busy intersection. He's probably gonna get hit.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought that was a funny scene, but this is after that, and they're all they play hooky for the rest of another school day. They're all kind of like, and this is after everybody has like had their inciting incident, like something bad, like some person was being mean to them or something like that, and so they play hooky and they come and have a magic circle. They hold hands and sing songs. So we'll just play it for fun. Obviously, we'll talk it over it because copyright reasons.
Yeah, that's always fun, right?
Mm-hmm. I I will say with this scene, like Bonnie and Rochelle, they just like kiss each other on the lips. The rest of them all kiss each other on the cheeks. So I don't know if
Yeah.
there's like a little something between Rochelle and Bonnie. Um, I mean, I'm not against it, but like,
Something a little extra there.
yeah. So I feel as though that could have been a plot point and would have been a good plot point. Um,
It would have been interesting, like them having like bonding moments of getting over like their own oh, what's the word? Like their own issues kind of together, like a conquering kind of overall.
Also, there's the title of the movie you wanted, Allier. As above, so below.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, I explained this during the movie when I was watching it there. I'm all like, okay, I'm fine with witch stuff and like in that like obviously that kind of culture and stuff like that. It's when it gets to the point of hey, let's all like cut our like fingers and like drink each other's blood. I'm all like, I'm good. I'm gonna sit out for that.
Fair enough.
Yeah, it's like wanting to spread diseases right there.
I know, right? I would not drink someone else's blood. But if everyone else in the circle was gonna do it, I'm gonna be like, okay, well, you guys aren't doing this until you guys all get tested. I'm not. No, that's it's just weird. So I do like this moment. It's actually um it's actually kind of interesting because at this point in the movie, you've seen everybody. You've obviously seen it like inciting incident. You know what each are like casting a spell on. Except for Nancy. At this point, I didn't know what she was going to be wishing for. Um, but you don't know what their like spells are going to be. So that's like an interesting point in the mind. So, but like this, like what they say, I believe, like hints at what is going to happen type thing. So, Oh yeah, it's a fun little witchy scene. It was chose I added this just because I don't know. I figured it was a good like start, like jumping space, but where you figure out what everyone is making spells and stuff for. Oh yeah. Got anything to say about it?
Nope.
No. Uh, I will say it's also shot really well because obviously it's daytime and stuff like that. You get to see everything, and it's all very pretty. It kind of gives you the feel of where witchcraft and all that comes from, with nature being kind of like the central. Nice. So, but yeah. I think that's enough with that scene. About all I have to say about that one. Uh, unless any of you guys got anything else to say, we'll move on. Speak now or forever hold your peace.
I'm good.
Okay. Sorry. Ooh. Uh, Next is surprise jackpot. So, at this point in the movie, the spells are taking effect. Um, I believe at this point, you already see uh, that what Sarah casted as her spell was a love spell. So now Chris is like hopelessly in love with her and just does everything she says. Um, Rochelle, she casted a spell on her bully, which we have talked about, which made her go, which made her bully go bald because she makes like an offhanded comment about her hair. Um, I guess it's not offhand. I guess it was very poor. Um, so at in revenge for that, Rochelle made like a spell that makes it that she just loses hair. Um, Bonnie, obviously, she wished for her scars to go away, and I believe at this point they have. So now this is what we're figuring out. Um, what Nancy wished for, um, which her stepfather had a heart attack at at this point. So this is what happened afterwards. Oh wait, I guess we don't even need it. I think we see the heart attack. You know, me forgetting what scenes I. But in this point, you see, obviously um, Nancy got impatient as she like basically cast it again. Stuff. Look. Yeah, and obviously you see how abusive her stepfather is.
Yeah. It's kind of like when she realizes what's going on too.
Yeah. Of course, he has a heart attack and everything.
Mm-hmm.
I know this is a difficult time for you, but it is procedure.
Okay,
Questions before we can.
this is actually a pretty funny scene, as we're about to see.
Mr. Saunders had a whole
You'll see
plan through the company.
why
Benefits
in a second. What's funny, but
second here.
Also, I like that apparently they both smoke. Her mom just lets her smoke in front of her.
Yeah, right.
Wait, are you saying that this goes to us? Fine.
To you.
175. What? There's.
Here's the funny part. I don't know. I don't know why I find that funny. She just starts laughing. Yeah. So obviously, scene we see stepdad die, and it turns out he had a nice life insurance policy to him, and it actually went to them. So, yeah. I don't know how much 175,000 is this day and age. In that, I don't know how much inflation has increased since 1996, but yeah, I don't know. I chose that scene because kind of an important scene. We see Nancy's intentions with her magic, and um, I don't know. I also like her mother's reaction. Clearly, you could tell that she I believe was in love with the stepfather. You kind of see it. It was obviously to be still loved him, because she's worried about him, and even in the beginning, the scene with the lawyer, she's like very you can tell she had been crying or something like that. She's like stone faced, trying to like keep her cool. But as soon as they figure out how much money they got from him, she gets so excited, stuff like that. She starts laughing. So
So I looked it up. $175,000 is just basically it's doubled. So it's like
okay,
$340,000, which is still a lot.
that is a lot, especially when I mean they're just like trailer and stuff like that, and you see what they get after this, which is a very nice apartment and everything like that. So uh, I don't know. I just kind of thought this was a good scene to add. Any anything I missed or anything before getting to this point? So you guys want to talk about with it?
I don't think so, no.
Okay, wanted to check. We'll go on to the next one, which is Cover Girl, Easy Breezy Beautiful. Once again, I don't know why I kept on trying to make funny headlines to these. Um, but yeah, so basically, this is close to after they get that money. They get a very nice apartment, Nancy and her mom. And it actually might be a condo, so they might own it. I don't know. But they also like bought all these like nice expensive things now that they can. But the girls all still hang out. So everyone has gotten what they wanted. They all still hang out and practice magic, stuff like that. And this time they're trying out a called a glamour spell. So
This is to feel.
watch that.
This is to be.
Oh
Shape
yeah.
and form it for all to see. By the power of 3 times 3.
I think this is the scene I was talking about. If you keep an eye on,
Shall it be?
let's see, like Nancy's facial expressions afterward.
What?
But
Plaza Brown. Oh, they're usually
I
green.
do like this. That okay, so what they're doing is a glamour spell, which is basically like an illusion.
But it's good. I mean, it suits you. Subtle.
I like that she changed her eye color to brown and nobody noticed.
Bigger.
And so they're just all like, "Can you do something bigger? Come on."
It's a whole egging them on kind of thing.
Well, I think it's and then obviously because yeah, it's very hard to tell. I guess it's like blonde. It kind of looks a little bit white.
Yeah.
It's real! And so much simpler than going to a salon. Yeah, really shitty salon. You try it. Watch.
But yeah,
It's weird. I can't tell if it's just really bad, like 90s CGI, or if it's like wigs, but it's like her hair, even like with wigs, it doesn't look like a wig. It's really weird.
yeah,
I think they just green screen on the color.
I
they
know, that's
might.
what I was
Yeah,
thinking.
I obviously 1996. I don't know. We didn't have the best when it came to CGI. Even though at this point, I think at this point, Jurassic Park and stuff was out, which was amazing CGI, but not all movies got that kind of budget. So,
Mm-hmm.
but like even her color, like I can't tell the color that well. Like I know it's supposed to be blonde, but it kind of looked white. So I don't know.
Yeah,
It
so
kind of
weird, what is it, like a bleach blonde hair.
yeah.
Like it's hella white.
Well, and I did add this scene specifically because how Sarah kind of views magic. She did do the charm on Chris, obviously, but she obviously did do the charm on Chris, and that's like the most like big magic she does throughout most. Um, but like the rest of them, as you can tell, like the very first thing she does is just change her eye color, which
Mm-hmm.
I, which I think is a little telling of her character. Like she doesn't need to do big spells or anything like that. She doesn't care about that. And it's interesting that she just chose to change her eye color, which makes me think maybe she like feels self-conscious about her eyes or something like that, being that that's like the first thing she does. So, and then even after they're all like, okay, go bigger and stuff like that, all she does is change her hair color. She could literally change anything to anything. So, yeah. Yeah, I still can't. I even brought it back to her hair color changed. Obviously, it's supposed to be blonde, but I guess it is supposed to be bleach blonde.
Very strange.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, no. Also, it is a sweet little moment before everything goes completely insane. So
Before the storm, right?
yeah, I know where they're actually like tell that they're actual friends and stuff like that and hanging out. So but yeah. Anything else you guys want to talk about with like the magic and stuff like that?
No?
Okay, we'll just oh, I titled this "What's Your Favorite Scary Movie?" Because this is when everything kind of goes upside down. So at this point in the movie, they did a ceremony on the beach, um, and basically it was to invoke the spirit, is what they call it. Like, they were trying to like invoke their version of God, essentially. Um, they call him Manon, or something like that.
I
But
think it's
yeah,
man
Manon. Yeah, I
and
yeah, I'm like
I'm pretty sure he's a devil too, which already they should
mm-hmm.
have. Let's see. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, like pretty sure he's like a devil, and it's like maybe you shouldn't be messing around with like spirits and demons, especially
Mm-hmm.
spirits with demon names.
Yeah. Sadly, I don't. That was not the scene where you see like Nancy's facial expressions. Because I vividly remember her like being like kind of put off by Sarah's power, like how strong she is. Um, and so like this was Nancy's way to like even the playing field. She invokes the spirit, and that basically kind of juices her up magic wise, so she's able to like perform these like strong magic and made her way more powerful. Um, and so this is like the first instance of her use. Um, but yeah, so this is what we see. Also, I guess we should also say, or Steve Skeet Ulrich. He has been under this love spell, and you find out the consequence to the love spell, which is basically he can't do anything but think about Sarah. He always wants to be with her, so he's now the opposite of what he was in the beginning. So now he's very clingy and possessive and stuff like that. And it was a very bad scene, which I don't feel like talking because it's very serious, and I don't think that we are well equipped for that discussion here. So we won't talk about that. But he does something very bad.
Yeah. I think it was the only time they showcased the magic comes to you back like threefold or something as well.
It, it is, yeah. It's really the only time, like you hear it in a few throughout the movie a few times. Like the shop lady says, "Whatever magic you do returns to you 3 times," which is complete bull because Sarah's magic is the only one that actually shows the consequences of it. Um, and actually like comes back to like hurt her in the end, whereas like
Like
all three
everybody
of the
else.
yeah, everyone else is all like, yeah, no, it's nothing bad happened to them. I thought the way the movie was gonna head was um like all of a sudden Nancy and her mom were gonna be in like financial debt, like crippling financial debt by the end of the movie. I thought Rochelle, I don't know. I didn't know it was gonna. I guess maybe she starts losing her hair, or like she like skin just starts falling off. Um,
Mhm.
and then for Bonnie, I thought she was either going to just like her whole body was gonna be like set on fire, or she was just gonna die in a fire. Um, but that did not happen. So, but yeah. But yeah, so I guess we'll actually start this scene. Basically, yeah, Nancy has invoked the spirit. She's juiced up on magic power. And it's also kind of revealed she's kind of had a thing for Chris this whole time. So, and we'll just watch the scene now. So, they end up going to like a party, or she ends up going to a party. There's Chris. She tries to like start kissing him and like sleeping with him, but he's only interested in Sarah. So now Sarah is, or Nancy is using the glamour illusion magic to make herself look like Sarah. This is basically the inverse of what Skeet Ulrich's character was trying to do with Sarah in the previous scene.
Mhm.
Everybody smokes in this movie
I think it was the thing, like
in the
way
90s.
back when, like a lot, especially like a lot of like uh 80s 80s and like kind of 90s movies. It was like real big, like on the smoke. And then
Mm-hmm.
I think it wasn't until like the early 2000s that you really start to see it kind of dip.
Yeah.
They were right. They usually are.
Which, it, you know, is is good because obviously tobacco's not great for you. So
No.
Yes. Sad but true. That's why I'm here.
yeah,
To help you forget about it.
What do you care?
Nancy, get off to bed. Look, you scared the shit
yeah,
out of me. Thank you very much. Let's go.
No. He's gotta pay.
You're just jealous.
Jealous? Jealous? You don't even.
Yeah, and then now it's like the time where she starts to go off.
yeah. This is it,
You.
and
Shit.
kind of just
Only way you
this is when the movie gets creepy.
treating them like
Um,
whores. When you're the
Everything
whore,
starts to take a turn.
gonna stop.
hmm he is a whore. We will say that he is a whore, but
I'm sorry.
I don't know. I feel as though
Oh,
Nancy still kind of liked him, even though he, is not a good person.
Yeah.
Yeah, just a little bit of moida.
What's what's witchcraft without the murder?
I know, right? So yeah, she gets all powerful and basically kills Chris, which yeah, like I said, like I can't tell what direction they were trying to go with Nancy for like her and Chris because I don't know, I kind like I get the feeling that she liked him or something like that, even he person and all that.
Mm.
Because like even in the beginning of the movie, she's like describing Chris to Sarah and like telling her to like don't get like caught up with him because he's an asshole. Um, still kind of feel as though she still likes him with that. So, but yeah, it's a I want to say fun scene because it's very bad what Nancy does to Chris. Um, but it's an interesting scene to say the least. And sees the power trip that Nancy is now on. But we'll go on to the next one. Um, I don't. Oh yeah, yeah. I did title this "Big Trigger Warning." This is Hey, this is your guys' warning. There's a lot of talk about suicide. Don't like that. Probably mute for just a little bit. When we get to the last part, we won't talk about that. So when it goes to the next clip, yeah. Well, yeah, we're just going to obviously see the title of the video. Yeah, it's a very big trigger warning section. But we'll just start it.
You're going to kill yourself tonight, my dear.
Ah, cool. It just starts off with that. Um, yeah.
Right, and then things, if they weren't already creepy enough, they start to get even way more creepy as they're floating up.
Yeah, I know, right?
It's like it's a I feel like it's a visual, like before you kind of see how crazy and kind of strong each person is, but now you actually get to see like a visual to where it's like Sarah is now on the ground, and the three of them are kind of up above her in a very like demeaning
Mm-hmm.
way.
Yeah, they're on a higher level now.
Mm-hmm.
So, which is funny because Nancy's the only one that's. It's only Nancy that's like juiced with magical power right now. Rochelle and
Yeah.
Bonnie aren't. So I feel as though she's just like raising them up her power.
Yeah, they're very, very kind of like I said, I kind of wish like they had a little more to them because they're very sidekick kind of characters.
Yeah. Um yeah. Uh basically what happens after Chris, obviously Nancy kills Chris. Um, Sarah wants out of the circle. Nancy doesn't like that and basically messes with her with a bunch of illusions and makes her see, like, she talks early in the movie, she talks about how mentally she was very unwell. She had hallucinations of like bugs and rats and stuff and snakes and stuff. And she sadly did try to kill herself, which is obviously a big issue. This part obviously is not supposed to be funny. Um, but she does. Zara pointed this out. She opens the medicine cabinet, throws things on the ground, and then just grabs a towel that's right next to her. I don't know what she was looking for, but the cabinet did not have it apparently.
Yeah, I mean, usually a medicine cabinet, I mean, it doesn't carry like a first aid kit. I don't think.
No.
Like, I think it's only big enough to maybe have like enough room for like toothpaste, some pill bottles. Like, it's not that deep, to be
No.
honest.
Yeah. Well, and
I
I also like.
really,
Oh yeah, go ahead.
oh, I was gonna say, I really like the scene too because it also shows, which I wish, as a movie they would go deeper with it. But it's like you can even still see that there is a connection between um it Bonnie and
Rochelle.
yeah, Rochelle, because it's like the two of them usually always stick together. Like even in this scene when Nancy is kind of going off the walls, it's like the two of them are always together.
Yeah. Well, and in the scene, you see them, like, Rochelle's all like, okay, we messed with her, like, this, we were just joking around with her. Like, to them, they just see this as, like, jokes. Like, they don't see this as
It's
anything
just a prank,
more than that.
bro.
Yeah, it's just a prank, bro, which, when you're doing psychological damage, um, clearly just a prank. But, but yeah, so, I forgot. Um, But yeah, obviously, big trigger warning about suicide and stuff like that. But uh, early in the movie, it is stated that Sarah tried to commit suicide and everything. So that explains kind of like why they moved stuff like that. She was having mental troubles, stuff like that, and she's better now, which is good. So, and obviously Nancy's trying to pin Chris's death on Sarah, and just gonna kill her and make it seem like she did it to herself, kind of thing. And so, I guess the only other noteworthy thing to say, or at least for me, is that she's trying to invoke the same spirit that Nancy invoked, so that she can get more powerful. Because obviously she was already more powerful than Nancy in the beginning. So if she gets juiced with magical power, she's going to be able to stop Nancy no problem. So, any other thoughts?
I don't have any.
Okay, we'll go to the next scene. This one is let me break out the wrestling moves. You'll see why I titled this in a second. But yeah, uh, Sarah basically invokes the spirit, so she's now juiced up with magical powers, and is going toe to toe with Nancy. Also, I guess the other thing I meant to say with the other scene is that Sarah here, like, she's in the middle of trying to invoke the spirit, and then she hears uh Bonnie and Rochelle coming up the stairs, so she does like an illusion magic to make it seem like, oh, their spells came back 3 times onto them. It didn't, even though it should have.
Yeah.
But but yeah. So that was kind of like what I thought would happen in the movie, but it doesn't happen. But yeah, so we'll actually just start this last scene. Basically Sarah is now like more powerful than Nancy. And Nancy's trying to Nancy's trying to pull out the I'm sorry, we all go crazy sometimes and try
Just,
and kill
just a
each
little
other.
crazy.
Just a little crazy, you know. Murder
It's a fake
somebody.
knife, I swear.
Good. I'm gonna go. One thing first. I bind you, Nancy, from doing harm. Harm against other people and harm
Oh
against
yeah. And so earlier in the movie, Sarah tried to bind Nancy after she became like juiced up with power.
doing harm.
It didn't work, and that's
Harm
why Nancy got really mad at her. Once again, she tries to bind her again, and it doesn't even work, and Nancy just starts beating her up. I just don't think that binding spell works.
I know. It's like, doesn't she have like a knife in her hand too?
Yeah, apparently she lost it, I guess, but. What were you saying, Nina? Sorry. I kind of missed that.
Like she got cut off the first it was one of the bands, so that's why it didn't work.
I was kind of confused. Scene. I was all like, I definitely saw her get smashed with that dresser. I was all like, is she actually dead?
Yeah, and it's like the dresser's like gone from the area too. Like it's just a whole
Yeah.
bunch of clothes.
I like that Sarah literally just tried to make it like, oh, I like poofed away.
I pooped. I no longer here.
Yeah, just a pile of clothes. Well, this is why I titled it, Let's Break Out the Wrestling Moves. She just kicks her. She doesn't even use magic with it, she just kicks her.
She got those supernatural legs, man. I don't know what you're talking about.
I know, right? And then, you know, third time's the charm. Let's try binding her once again.
Hey, listen,
Yeah.
three is the key. You know.
I know, right? But yeah, I don't have like I think that's it of clips that I have. But the movie ends. Sarah's moving away. I think they're moving back to San Francisco, which fair. Where are they
Yeah.
moving? No, I think they were.
I think
Sorry.
they were. I don't know. I remember it was like they were getting stuff into a car. So it's either like a road trip, time away, or like they were moving or something. But then it's like the Bonnie and Rochelle like come back and they kind of make amends, but
Mm-hmm.
it's like kind of that like really weird and awkward apology that's happened that it's like, oh yeah, sorry, we didn't actually mean to kill you. It was just kind of a joke, you know.
It was a
It's one of those
prank, bro.
apologies. Yeah, it's one of those apologies that doesn't end very well. And
Mm-hmm.
it's kind of like you don't really stay friends. It's not like you're not friends, but it's also like we'll probably never hang out again, you know.
It it was the I don't hate you, but we're not exactly as tight as we were.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and not only that, they literally leave. It's all like she probably didn't have any powers anyway, and then she just uses her power. I don't know why they thought, oh, because clearly us two lost our powers. You lost your self. Who do you think took your powers away? Like,
Yeah, exactly.
um, which is just funny. And then at the last scene of the movie is literally Nancy in an insane asylum. She I believe was actually bound this time. And she talks about flying. So she's just insane now.
Yeah,
But yeah, thoughts on the movie for every.
it's very interesting. I was surprised I had never seen it. It's actually hilarious. In one of the scenes when I think Sarah is by the football field, there's a song
Hmm.
that plays. And that song is the is literally the intro to Charmed. Every single time I hear it play, I just think of like Charmed and the intro to it, and it's absolutely hilarious that that song is in a witch movie beforehand, and then it becomes the main song of Charmed.
That is funny. I did not notice that because I've not seen Charm, but maybe someday.
That's good.
Nina, what about you? What are your thoughts on the movie?
Honestly, I really enjoyed it a lot. Plus, like I did a little bit of research on the movie, and I found out
Hmm.
they used like actual witches and Wiccas to actually like help in the production of the movie. So I thought it was pretty cool.
Oh, that is really cool. I did not find that. That's awesome to know. Uh, I can definitely see it because I believe a lot of their spells and stuff and like rituals that they did are true rituals. So yeah, no, that's actually really cool. I also enjoyed the movie. I think it's a fun little movie. Um, Not too scary, but it has its moments. But yeah,
It's more
no,
of
it
like
is.
it's kind of on the verge of being like a thriller, I guess, than anything. It's not necessarily horror,
It
but
it is like in its description, it's described as horror, but it's also '90s horror. Sometimes
yeah.
it was hit or miss. It's like this is clearly teen horror, and that always hit or miss. So it was like sometimes it was like probably really scary. Like not really scary, but it's an interesting story nonetheless. Yeah. Anything else before we move on to Nightmare, which is which was Nina's choice. So excited to see what she has to say.
I don't think so. Actually, what time
Yeah,
is it? Okay. I do think I have to head out. I gotta go get
that
some stuff done for before tomorrow.
that's all right. Thank you for showing up and talking
Yeah,
to us.
that's no
So
problem. It's been a while. I've been super busy with work, life, trying to get all this VTuber stuff done, which is very difficult when it's just you by yourself. But
I
I'm excited. So
I get that. So I'm glad. I hope it cools or like moves out soon. So
yeah, no, I'm hoping by hopefully Friday everything kind of tends to slow down a little bit afterwards. I do plan on streaming a little more, um,
nice.
but
Tell me when you want to play Hunt. Yeah, I'll play that.
yeah, I'll probably I've got a lot of stuff going on for October, but probably after
Yeah,
because
that's totally fine.
I've got some vacation stuff that I'm doing in the middle of this month. I'm probably gonna pick some horror games to play by myself, and then I do also have the pumpkin carving contest that I'm trying to get started as well. So
True.
yeah,
Oh yeah,
yeah.
can you want to advertise that like this will be going up on YouTube, so
Oh,
hopefully people will
sure.
watch up to this point. um,
Right. So yeah, I if you go onto Twitter // Aligar ALAGAER, and there's a little like underscore. I have a pumpkin carving contest going on for Halloween because Halloween is like actually my favorite holiday out here. Anyone can participate. It can be as many pumpkins as you want. They can be painted, carved, sculpted, because I've seen some crazy shows where people do like giant ass pumpkins and they're all like sculpted to crazy bits, whatever. Anyway, all the pictures that are posted underneath that will be judged. I think we here will be, I know some of the judges, I got some other people too. We'll go through them, we'll
Yeah.
see, you know, it's a big fun festival, or contest of all sorts of stuff just to see everybody's creativity. And I'd like to continue to do it as something that goes on, you know, every year. Because I've been doing pumpkin carving for a really long time with some of my friends. So I'd like to continue doing that and kind of outreaching to other people. So I'm excited. I hope a whole bunch of people come around and participate. It, you know, it's fun. It's celebrating Halloween spirit with everybody around us.
Yeah. And I hope everybody here can participate. It's really cool.
Yeah, you better.
Yeah. I'll make sure to tell people in movie club.
Heck
So,
yeah. All right. Well, on
uh,
that note, I'm going to go ahead and leave. Thank you guys for having me, and hopefully the next one
yeah.
I'll be able to stay a little longer.
Yeah. Have a good rest of your night.
All right. Bye, guys.
Bye bye. Okay. Got a little sidetracked there, but that's alright. We're gonna move on to Nightmare on Elm Street. Who is excited for this? Nina, you chose this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was my first time watching it as well, so it's kind of funny.
Oh, this was your first time watching it. I thought you had. I didn't know. Um, I was gonna ask if you had like any connection to it, like childhood or something like that.
No, I just thought Freddy Krueger was hot.
Oh, okay. Hey, that's a connection. There we go. But yeah, no,
Not
that's
a bad
perfect.
connection, but
Well, I mean, this is the first movie in the Nightmare series. It obviously spawned a giant series, all with Freddy Krueger, and this is his first outing, which he doesn't talk as much in this movie. The later ones, he talks a little bit too much. So, but yeah, you
they
ready to
can
get
never
started? Oh, yeah, what's up?
they can never balance it out, huh?
No, they couldn't. Later on, later on, I believe he always does like a cheesy liner when he kills somebody. Um, he also loves to say bitch. So he'll just kind of like he has like a growling with that phrase. So like kind of I don't know how it's like a deep voiced thing with it. So but yeah.
Oh no, he's one of
Uh,
those.
yeah. But yeah, we'll get started here. We're gonna obviously go through the characters like usual, just to everybody has at least some idea who everybody is. First up, we have Nancy Thompson, played by Heather Langenkamp.
Another
Uh,
name?
yeah, I know it's another Nancy. The funny thing is, that day, the day that I watched these three movies, um, I had also watched Nancy Drew earlier in that day, so I just watched three shows or like three things with Nancy for some. That's not the most common name, though. But but yeah, she's the main girl who starts having dreams about a burnt man with knives for fingers. Does everything she can to find out his identity. She can stop the killing that's been going. Um, she's a final girl, that's for sure. What what were your thoughts on see here?
Kind of forgettable, honestly. She's just bland as like a character. I can't like name any personality traits that she has much. She's just bland.
Yeah. Hey, I mean being bland is personality trait, I guess. Yeah,
True.
I believe she's in the second and third actually no, I think she's in the third sequel. I've only ever seen the first movie, but I've seen clips of the other. But she I believe is in the third one. She has like a lot more um but yeah, she's just kind of final girl. That's kind of how she is. The she comes to realize what's going on pretty quickly, more faster than everybody else, and she just obviously wants to stop it from happening. So, next up we have Glenn Lance, played by a very, very young Johnny Depp. It's the second time we've done a movie with Johnny Depp. First being, of course, Pirates of the Caribbean. So, if you haven't seen that movie club, that's like one of the very first ones we ever did. So, but he's Nancy's boyfriend who does everything he can to support her with all the strange murders and dreams that have been going on. Probably has a baseball bat or something. Also falls asleep with the TV on him. He didn't have many facts, I'm not gonna lie. I think the main fact is that he's Johnny Depp and he's also dressed like this. So.
Kind of movie.
Mm-hmm. Any thoughts on Glenn that you had during the movie?
He's kind of cute, like as like a cute partner to like Nancy. Like he had like
Yeah.
something going on for him.
Yeah.
He was better than the other one.
Yeah, I mean, it is just it's Johnny Depp. He's like, I feel as though he also is kind of bland, like Nancy, which isn't a bad thing. I mean, it's the first movie, and they're trying to obviously introduce Freddy Krueger more than like other characters. So, um, but yeah, no, he is very supportive of her. He doesn't like call her crazy or. Yeah, he tries his best. So. Also, yeah, he just falls asleep with the TV on top of him at one point. It's kind of weird.
Yeah, and headphones in as well.
Yeah, headphones on, big headphones, listening to music. He's not even listening to the TV, but he has the TV on. It's like, yeah. So, yeah. Next, we'll go on to Tina Gray, played by Amanda Weiss. As girlfriend to Rod and best friends with Nancy. She's the first in the movie to have the strange dreams and gets really concerned with them. Sadly, she's the first to be killed in this madman's revenge. So, like it's stated, she's the first, like, she's there, literally the first scene you see is her having a dream with Freddy in it, and then sadly she gets killed later on, which we'll be going over in a little bit. But yeah, so I don't. She had like a little bit more personality. Like obviously her mom there most of the time. In the middle of the movie, she literally just like, oh, she went with her boyfriend to Vegas type thing. Um, and but yeah, and she is dating Rod, who's like the bad boy, but yeah. What what were your thoughts on
If she had more screen time, I would probably like her more. But from the little screen time she had, like she was just set up to be the first kill and to like introduce Freddy properly. So
Yeah,
nothing much really with her.
yeah. I also kind of, yeah. I don't know where my thought was going with that, but yeah. Sadly, yeah, she is just there for fodder. She that's kind of her thing. Next we have Rod Flanders Lane. Uh, I I'm gonna mess this up. Sue. I don't know how to say that first name. I'm really sorry to his Spanish. I do not know how to say that name. But it's Sue Garcia or something like that. But anyway, he plays Rod Lane, boyfriend to Tina, bad boy of the group. Gets pinned for Tina's murder and must go on the run. Um, yeah. He really is just the bad boy. He literally gets introduced, like he's literally wearing the stereotypical leather jacket and stuff like that, and he's just dating Tina really. I guess his like biggest like thing with his character is obviously he witnesses Tina's murder, stuff. So, and that clearly was very traumatic, though he just like makes the stupidest decision in the world to, well, I guess it wasn't a stupid decision. But yeah. Got anything to say about Rod?
I have I hate him so much. He was probably the worst, my least
Yeah.
favorite. And I'm
You
glad
didn't.
he died the way he did, like very slowly, like hunged, because Jesus Christ, you're such a shit boyfriend.
Yeah,
He's
he
just,
wasn't a great guy, but
I mean,
I didn't hate him that much.
I just don't like him that much.
Well, hey, nice to know. I didn't realize that you hated him so much. Damn.
We need him in
Uh,
normal, man.
mm-hmm. Hey, yeah, no. Uh, yeah. That's kind of just the main Oh, wait, no. I'm stupid. There's, obviously one last main character. His name is Freddy Krueger. He's played by Robert Englund, who plays Freddy in all except for the remake that was made in 2009 or somewhere around that era. Um, as the only time Robert Englund did not play Freddy. Um, but he's the resident madman and killer who wants revenge after being killed by the kid's parents. In life, he was a child murderer, and in death, he continues his killing spree in children's dreams. How do you fight someone in their dreams? But yeah, what what was your final evaluation of Freddy once you actually watched the
Still hot, as in he's
movie?
burned to death and attractive.
He was burnt to death and attractive. Hey, that that works. I actually Robert Englund is just like really fun. Um, as you can see, I didn't just choose a picture this time. Freddie or Robert Englund has gone on like many different like talk shows and stuff like that, and he always he likes to bring out the finger knives and stuff like that. He can from what I can remember, he like can like do a trick with it, like with an like he can peel an apple with his knife hands. But I couldn't. I was trying to look for that video, but I couldn't find it. But this is just a fun little interview he has with uh just a reporter. If you're ready to watch it,
I'm ready.
okay.
Do you like your movies?
So.
Yeah, I do. I'm really proud of part 3. I mean, I had some problems in the middle of part 2. I thought it bogged down. I like the beginning and the end of part 2 a lot. I think part 1 is a minor classic already. And yeah, I think there's a need for these
I do
things.
like that he is critical. He is critical for it. He's all like, it was a little bogged down for number 2 in the middle, but he still loves the movies.
Not
So.
scary stuff. I hate to say this, Freddie, but I can't go and see your movies. I am too afraid.
That's all right.
I hate how she said afraid.
I'm not a big fan of watching Joe Clayburgh take Valium, but there's
Ooh,
obviously an audience for
afraid.
that movie too.
Ooh, I'm too
I
afraid.
like The World of Henry Orient.
I love The World of Henry Orient. I love that movie. Peter Sellers. Oh.
How do you get
I
ready
love
for
her.
Freddie?
Robert Englund is just fun. He's very charismatic.
Boy, she can turn a phrase. Well, I tell you, I sit in the chair, and Kevin Yeager, who is the handsomest makeup man in the world, does my makeup for like 4 hours, and we drink a lot of coffee, and we talk, and I get more and more ornery as they put more and more glue on me, and in about 4 hours, there's nothing left of Robert Englund. It's just this cantankerous cuss named Fred Krueger.
But how do you even look in the mirror? Doesn't that frighten you? Because all I've seen of you is like a television promo for Nightmare on Elm Street. I've never forgotten it. I've seen that face once, and it's burned in my memory.
Burned. Good choice of words, Val, because that's just what happened to Fred.
I just like how different it is than through the years. Because obviously nowadays, horror movies are like a big staple of life. But like, apparent like just looking at Freddy was enough to scare this woman for like the rest of her life.
The dawn was coming up, hour of the wolf,
Not the
whatever
good
that
old
time is,
days.
just before sunrise.
I don't know.
And the AD banged on the door of my honey wagon. I had the lights off, and I sat up and looked in the mirror, and I'd forgotten that I was in the makeup. and I had morning mouth, and everything else, and I was sort of like half asleep, and there was this bald little man looking back at me. It seared itself into my brain, that image. Yeah, I've scared myself.
Yeah, I just thought that was a fun little interview. Uh, I guess a reporter in Canada, but yeah, I think yeah, he's just a fun guy. Obviously a lot, especially in the '80s and '90s and stuff like that. Horror movies were very like under fire and stuff like that. Same with like violent video games stuff like that. Even nowadays, people have their opinions about those types of things. So, but he was always like, he's also like, yeah, it's like as a like, come on, as a teenager, like, why wouldn't you want to see a scary movie, stuff like that? So it's just fun. I think it, and I don't know, he just has like a very upbeat attitude. I like it. Yeah. You ready to get to the first clip?
Yep.
Okay. Clip number one. It's just a dream. Hey, guess what? Forgot about this. Yeah, all of these are age restricted. Who would have guessed? Because this is a very bloody movie. So I just have them set up on here. So this is a very jank way to do it, but just how it's gonna be. So uh I chose. This is not the first dream sequence. This is the second one that Tina has. Um, we'll ignore the fact that when I was putting these slides together, I thought this was the first one. But yeah. Also, big shout out to Fandango movie clips because all of the clips that I have are from them, and they're all like the clips that I wanted. So
They carry all the time.
I know, right? Love Fandango. Yeah. So. If I remember from like, because I watch Kill Count on YouTube, which is a very informative. This is very informative about horror movies and stuff like that. Like those finger knives are real. Like they're actual knives. Well, obviously they have like multiple. Some aren't. Some are like fake knives, but a few of them are actually real knives. So that's how he he had to get very careful using them. Yeah. Oh, also trigger warning, I guess. It's very bloody, but we're watching scary movies, so who would have guessed? Okay, that, I forgot that he gets hit in the head with Tina. That is hilarious. Obviously, it's actually a very brutal scene going on right now, but that part's actually funny. I will say he's not doing anything. He's just sitting there. I know he doesn't know what's going on, but he's just sitting there yelling Tina
And
with his
raising
arm
his
out
hand
stretched.
with it.
Yeah. Yeah. Very, very bloody first kill that we get in the movie. And that does not let up. Like, except for Rod's death, the rest are all pretty bloody. So get ready for that. But yeah, that's a great. I love that intro scene. I think that's a great first kill in a movie.
Honestly, yeah. Like the best introduction for like a serial killer.
I think it just shows um shows like what he's about and everything like that, and how it kind of also establishes the rules that you can't see him. Like in the dreams, like you're getting like thrown around, pulled around, all this, and you can't see them or anything like that. So it's very cool to see. So, but yeah, um, yeah. Anything else that you want to talk about with that?
No, I think we said everything.
Okay. So next we got I can just smell the rust in this room, which is what Zara said when we watched this movie. So this is the first dream that we. I believe this is the first dream we see Nina or Nancy have. Wow, I just said Nina.
Yeah, this is
Combined Tina and
Nancy's
Nancy.
dream.
Yeah, this is a very scary dream. Like I like that you see the blood stain and everything. Screw your pass. I mean, you still got that 80s, like, you still got those 80s line reads at times, which I just think is so much fun. I would like to say, she's not allowed down there. She is a student, and she's not allowed down there, but she goes anyway. It is it's interesting how they like put all this stuff together because obviously I don't know about you, my dreams like are just weird, obviously, but obviously they had to write them closer to places where they could just like quickly build something. So like, oh cool, we need a boiler room in a school. So we're gonna just set this dream in the boiler room. Ugh. Yeah. I do like this little thing, like that would happen in a dream. That like, oh, you went through this way, and then all of a sudden it's like blocked off, type stuff. So but I just think these like kind of horror movies are just they're fun. They and obviously in this day and age, it's not this isn't the most scariest movie ever, but it's still pretty good.
I enjoyed it.
So I like Nancy's stance there, arms to the side, because she didn't know what to do with them. Oh. Yeah. And it was also quick thinking. Burn yourself real quick.
Best way to wake up.
Uh, the teacher in that scene is the old woman in the Insidious movie. Seen those?
Oh, really? Nice.
Yeah, I've not seen the Insidious movies. I'm not particularly into like ghost like horror movies, but I thought that was just a nice little fun fact. But yeah. So I think this is a fun introduction to um Freddy, but and having it be Nancy's first dream. And she already like oh yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, you explain first. It's fine.
Okay, I was just gonna say, and you also see like Nancy's how different Tina is to Nancy with like thinking outside of the box. Because like the very first thing she does is all like, okay, let me burn myself to like, wake myself up because the pain will wake type thing. But yeah, and what were you gonna add?
I was gonna say that I don't think this was her first dream. It was just the first dream we were seeing from her perspective. 'Cause she mentioned, "Oh yeah, I dreamt the same guy too." Like
You're right.
mhm.
Yes, you are right. This is not technically. This is the first dream we see that Nancy has, but she has had other stuff like that. So. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know if we need to go too much into the story. This is really like these first two scenes are kind of it. Um, I guess the only other thing we have to say story wise is that um, after Tina dies, Rod, her boyfriend, like runs away. So the police believe he did it because obviously it was a locked door and stuff like that. Um, and they catch Rod when Nancy's on her way to school. So he's already in jail. Um, but yeah, and yeah, I do find it funny that like no one like she didn't just like show her burn to people. Be like, I literally, I was in class asleep and got this burn. Explain that. So, though I will say a lot of the adults in this movie aren't like smart in that way. Oh, hello.
Hello.
Perfect.
Hello.
Perfect timing.
You wanna say who you are? Obviously, I know who you are, but
Hello, I'm Zara. Yep.
she chose her movie was The Craft. We already went over. Uh, before we go any further in Nightmare, you got any thoughts on The Craft that you wanna share?
I just love that movie so much.
Hey, that it was a good movie. We enjoyed it as well. So, we were just talking about the boiler room nightmare scene, the one that Nancy has at the school.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. What else? What is the next thing we have? Next thing we have is reverse carry. Are you forgetting what my titles are for? Oh yeah, this is actually pretty far into the movie. So, story wise, Nancy already knows what's going on with Freddy Krueger. Um, and at this point, what like, actually, yeah, I think we skipped a lot. Basically, what happens, she knows what's going on with Freddy. She finds out that she can bring things from her dream into the real world. Because she goes to like the sleep therapy thing, which is also another thing we should at least talk about at some point. But we'll talk about it. Um, so her plan is to pull Freddy into the real world, with Glenn here to like fight him, basically. Um, but Glenn falls asleep while she's like getting all this stuff set up. So that's what we got right now. Glenn. I will say Nancy's been up for days at this point. Like, jeez. Is Nancy sleeping at this point? Oh.
Oh, yes, my least favorite part of the movie.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Of course I had to add this. Come on. Oh, yeah. Also in the story, Rod's already dead, but they still think Rod did it. Also, Nancy's mom goes insane. Oh,
I locked it all up. I had to. Nancy, you are going to get some sleep tonight if it kills me.
yeah, Nancy's mom is an alcoholic.
Don't even have it on me.
Oh. Sorry, your phone crashed. Yeah, Nancy's mom is an alcoholic. Very heavily. She literally hides alcohol in the like linen closet. Here we go. No. No. I like that the CD or the wow, I really just said CD. That is a record player. Gets pulled down into there as well. I wonder how they shot this scene. Should probably research that next. Like if there's a scene that I'm actually like questioning how they shot it, I should figure that out. But but yeah, that's Glenn's death. I figured we should add that one. Talk about that one. Um, like I said, a lot of the movie has already passed at this point, which is surprising because this is uh obviously far into but yeah, uh Nancy basically decides that she's just gonna bring Freddy into the real world so that someone can stop her. And if she has to do it, she'll do it. Type thing. So, what were your guys' thoughts on Glenn's death?
Listen, as somebody who's never seen the movie before, I personally wasn't expecting it to be that gory.
It is a very gory. There's a ton of blood. And this is Nina's first time watching it as well. This was my second time.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess I wasn't expecting it to feel like a slasher almost.
It is a slasher.
Right? Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
What,
I don't know, I wasn't expecting it.
that's fair. Because especially with the dream aspect, I guess you don't really think slasher, but it does turn out to be that way. Um, so yeah. Nina, do you have any thoughts on Glenn's death and the story up to this point? I know I've missed some stuff, so please help me out with if you can. So,
For the death, I think it's like one of the most creative ones I've seen in like horror movies outside of like the basic jump scares that we usually get. So I think it's very well made.
and any thoughts on the story so far?
I mean, it's just a basic story, like what you get, like what you see is what you get. There's like nothing much deeper to it.
Yeah, don't get me wrong, this movie is a classic movie. That's why it's so well known. Not much happens. Like the middle part is kind of all fluff. Not much happens in the middle. There's a little bit of story that we did skip. Um, like the one like the biggest thing that we skipped, I would say, is we find out the reason Freddy is going after these kids. Basically, in real life, Freddy Krueger was a normal man. He, uh, but he was a child killer. So he was a serial killer, killed a bunch of children. I think it was like 20, but I don't think it was stated in this movie. Um, but he killed a bunch of children, and they tried to arrest him, but there was an error on the search warrant. So he was able to get off on the charge. So he was not sent to jail, but everyone knew he did it. And so the parents of the families, which Nancy's family and stuff like that, like Nancy's mom and dad, and like Glenn's, I believe, like all the kids' parents got together and went to his like house or whatever, locked him in there. Oh, they drugged him, locked him in there, and then set the house on fire. So that's why he's has so much burns. Um, and so that is his motivation for killing the kids. Um, other than that, Rod is already dead at this point. Uh, like I said to Zara when we were watching the movie, his death, while obviously it's painful and stuff, like it's actually very gruesome in life and stuff. He gets like his death's like very like he gets off easy kind of, I feel, because obviously Glenn and Tina like are slashed and like stabbed and stuff like that, whereas he just gets hung slowly. I mean, it was obviously painful, but yeah,
Yeah, it's definitely the least gory out of all of the deaths.
that is for um. And then the last like big story beat that I did already like mention, but I'll go deeper right now is um Nancy's mom was worried because obviously she's not sleeping. Um and so she takes her to a sleep doctor and they get her tested for sleep. She has a nightmare, and then when she wakes up she pulls a hat underneath the bed. Um and she basically won't go back to bed type thing. And obviously her mom is very worried, and so that's why she like locked up the whole house, is that she's staying in she basically is making her child stay home and making her go to type thing. But yeah. Uh, so we'll go on to the next scene. I call it "Oh Boy, Home Alone." Yeah. So in this point of the movie, she went to bed again and dragged Freddy into the real world. So now Freddy is in the real world. That's literally like it. That's the only thing that's happened between Glenn's death and this point. I absolutely hate this officer.
I said this when you watched the movie, but that part in particular is so funny to
Mm-hmm.
me for no reason.
Mm-hmm.
It's just so goofy.
Like, this literally just turns into Home Alone at this point, which is funny. Maybe I should go tell the lieutenant. Dude, she's literally screaming and breaking windows. You should have ran and gotten him way before that. But yeah. And then she literally like thank God her mom's an alcoholic, though her mom usually does gin, so yeah. Very very good fire stunt for sure.
Oh, I agree for sure.
And it is very dangerous to do these long fire stunts. Hopefully the man did not get hurt, but came out great. I absolutely loathe that deputy. Literally, her dad is booking it to her, and he's just like, "I'm gonna stop at this door." Like, dude. Oh, now we'll worry. Now we'll actually get her out. Freaking hate that man. Um, but yeah, nice little fire stunt. Um, way too much. It's like very much like Home Alone. Um, but yeah, what did you guys think of the scene overall?
Well, like I said, from the second that he got that door open, it just felt really goofy. It was entertaining, but it just really felt goofy. I don't know. It definitely felt like a Home Alone scene.
Yeah, definitely. What about you?
Yeah, I agree. It was like very hilarious. I laughed my ass off when I watched it.
Yeah, like like we've said, this movie is a classic. It's a great movie. Um, it definitely has that '80s feel with some of its scenes. This is definitely one. Yeah,
You could still laugh at the classics, I feel like. Why not?
yeah, no, you can. Uh, you can respect them enough, but you can still laugh. But yeah, once again, hate that officer because he's literally just ignoring the pleas of this girl who he knows is the sheriff's daughter, and she's literally breaking windows and stuff, and he's all like, do, I'm just gonna stand here and watch. Oh, she ran downstairs now and broke a window. Maybe now I should go get the sheriff. Not when she's like screaming for help. I don't know.
I'm sure she's gonna be fine.
Yeah,
Surely.
she'll be fine. Oh, I don't have to go up. Uh, okay, the next. We got two more. This next clip is the power of believing or something. Because, yeah. Once again, very much respect to this movie for its time and everything like that, and what it brought to the horror genre. This part's weird. Um, I don't know if this was like their original ending idea. It does not feel like it. I don't know if they got like stuck budget wise or something like that. The skeleton looks fine. I like the hole, but what happens after this part? It's like weird. Hey, do you believe in Freddy Krueger now, Dad?
His face gets me every time.
Everything okay up here? Oh, okay. I'm just gonna shut the door in your face. Wasn't even a slam. It was a very slow, gentle close. I think that's worse.
I'm okay. You go downstairs. I'll be there in a minute.
It's kind of funny because I feel as though the dad would have said, "Go downstairs. I'll be there in a minute." but Nancy's a take charge girl. She tells her dad what to do, not the other.
She's the one running the show.
Yep.
An independent woman.
And this effect's cool. I like this effect, like him coming up at under the bed and having to tear his way out. think he was.
It's too late, Kruger. I know the secret now. This is just a dream.
I
You're alive. This whole thing is just a dream.
like I understand this is set like this is a callback to what Glenn says earlier in the movie
I took
about
a little bit of energy I gave you.
that you give them the power when it affects us in our dreams, but still, it's kind of weird how this episode or this ends. He just gets absorbed back in. It's kind of weird. I don't know if this was the first idea they had with it for the ending. I don't feel as though it is, but what a what are your guys' thoughts, truthfully? Because kind of dumbfounded, but
They could
I
have
don't
done
know.
it better, Leslie.
Yeah, I was gonna say they could have done more, and it feels a little bit like a cop out, but it's whatever.
it does. And like I said, I don't know if this is just how they wanted to end it, or I would have to research it. Maybe I will. I'll research later, and then I'll let you guys know on Friday. Watch the but yeah, it's just a weird ending because I think the rest of the movie is great. Um, but that like him just getting absorbed back into her is kind of weird. And we can to continue because this scene actually need a sequel bait. Is the next title that I came up. If we all know sequel baiting, every movie has to sequel bait now. You can't just make one good movie nowadays. You always have to tease a sequel. But apparently in the 80s, you also needed because we'll just go straight into it because when she opens the door, this is what happens.
It's bright.
She just goes right on out. This I know for sure they reshot. This was not how it was supposed to. Like this part of the ending, I know was not supposed to how it ended.
No, baby, I'm gonna stop drinking. I just don't feel like it anymore. Did I keep you awake last night? You look a little bit peaked.
She has very blue eyes.
I guess I just slept heavy.
She really does.
I'll see you.
Her blue orbs shine in the sunlight.
I know, right?
Everybody,
Hey, look, everybody's just back alive. Just get trapped. Like I said, sequel baiting. It doesn't even go all the way through. Yeah. The last shot of the movie is like a clear dummy, like clearly just a dummy, gets pulled through the door, like front door window. That's kind of how the movie. It's very weird, and I know for sure they reshot this, if I remember correctly. Like they shot this ending for some reason. Um, once again, it's a weird ending to an otherwise really great movie.
I'll say for me personally, it wasn't the worst horror movie ending, so I kind of enjoyed it, especially for it being the first time that I've seen it.
What about you? This being the first time you've seen this ending.
The ending really confused me on who is actually dreaming at this point because like the daughter just drove away and it was just focusing on the mother, so it's just kind of confusing on who is actually dreaming.
It is kind of like because clearly it's a dream. It's clearly a dream. So it is a good question of that point. But yeah, but but yeah, that was a Nightmare on Elm Street. Um, Final thoughts of the movies for
Decent movie, will not be watching the sequels.
that's not a that's a bad idea. The sequels are worse. What I've heard. I probably will watch them at some point. But
Um, yeah, I didn't hate the movie. I'm glad that I saw it because I've never seen it before, ever. I'm kind of in agreement with Nina though.
yeah, um, yeah, no, I agree. Like the ending for me, like really was off putting. It's like a very big shift of the whole movie. Um, and like I said, I don't feel as though that's what they originally intended to be ending. Uh, but yeah, and I might watch the sequels. I've heard the second one is very. This isn't in like a mean way or anything. It's very gay, and it was intended to be like made that way. Um, like there is a lot of homoerotic stuff that goes on in Halloween or not Halloween, Nightmare on Elm Street 2. Um, and then I've heard the third one is good, and then the rest are kind of like eh.
Okay, I recant my answer. I'll watch the second one then.
Okay,
Yeah, same.
yeah, the second one is very homoerotic. Like there is a lot of gay energy out, and that was the intended purpose. If I remember correctly, the main character of that movie, like him in real life, was secretly gay at that point. So yeah. But that was Nightmare on Elm Street. It's the start of a series that is very well known, just like Friday the 13th or Halloween. And but yeah. So are you guys ready to Oh yeah. So like I said, this is All Hallows Movie Club. Still a working title, but whatever. I like it, so I might not change it. But we have a new theme for next week. It's technically this week. That we're going to be doing on Friday, and that theme is zombies. But we're going to figure out what movies we're watching right now.
I'm excited for this one.
Let's go.
So these are the movies we got. We got 6 choices so far for zombies. We have World War Z, chosen by our lovely Phoenix. We got I Am Legend, chosen by Wolfie. I chose Train to Busan. We have Pet Cemetery by Wolfie. I chose Zombieland. And then Kat chose the Dawn of the Dead remake. So let's see what we get.
I just want to say these are all fantastic choices, by the way.
The only one I have not seen is Pet Cemetery, but I love all the rest of them. I like Dawn of the Dead. Hey, we get to watch the movie I haven't watched. We're watching Pet Cemetery. Uh, once again, I don't know if this is. I forgot to ask if this was the original or the remake. We will be watching the trailer for the original, but we might be going over the remake. So, sorry about that. We do. I had that choice. We'll just see what we got. And the last one is, or the next one is. I guess, yeah, sure, whatever, that's valid. We're doing I Am Legend by Wolfie as well. This actually works out. So. I'm gonna queue up the trailer for Pet Cemetery. And I'm gonna, while that goes on, I'm gonna run to the bathroom. YouTube. movie trailer. We're watching the classic one, the 1989 version. I'm gonna run to the bathroom while this plays. It might start playing other random trailers, so have fun with that. I'm sorry if it does, but I'll be back.
Word.
What is this place? I brought you here to bury Alan's cat.
Daddy, is church alright?
Why, Judd? I have my reasons.
I dreamed he got hit by a car and you and Mr. Crandall buried him in the pet cemetery.
What did we do tonight, Judd? What we did, Lois, was a secret.
May the Lord bless you and keep you.
Has anyone ever buried a person up there?
May the Lord make his face to shine upon you.
You're thinking thoughts best not thought of.
Daddy's gonna do something really bad.
You're thinking of putting him up there. Don't deny the thought hadn't crossed your mind. Come back to me, Gage. Come back to us.
Paramount Pictures presents Stephen King's all-time best-selling tale of horror, Pet Cemetery.
Looks adorable.
I love this one. It is a little bit cheesy, but it's still a good one. I wonder if we're getting the roulette of something random playing next, or if the play next isn't on for him.
Yeah, I don't think he has that on. So we're just watching at thumbnails.
I'm back though. Yeah, so that was the trailer for Pet Cemetery. I did not watch it, or the trailer, but I do know the synopsis. Basically, the synopsis is, there's this magical pet cemetery that whatever you bury there comes back alive, but it's all violent stuff, so he buries his child. That dies. I'm assuming it showed that in the trailer, right? I didn't just ruin something.
No, you're good.
Okay, cool. And then the next one is I Am Legend. Will Smith, one of my favorite
I used to be
actors.
obsessed with this movie.
Nice. They're supposed to be doing a sequel to it. Excited. But
Nothing happened the way it was supposed to happen.
this is a
6 billion people.
this is a good movie. So these are
I'm a
zombies,
New York City.
but they're like vampires as well because they can't go out in the sun.
Midday, when the sun is highest in the sky.
I love Will Smith. I always have, so.
I just sleep.
Morning. Exercise.
Eat your vegetables. Don't just push them around. Eat them. I'm not playing.
Excited, I like this movie.
Morning, Hank. Midway through the G's.
If you guys haven't seen this movie, I highly recommend it. Very, very good movie. And like I said, it is zombies, but they act kind of like vampires with how it works.
It is a fantastic movie.
God didn't do this. We did.
Okay. Yeah, I'm glad that I didn't necessarily ruin that they kind of act like this. I guess it does show it in the trailer. Which is based on a book. Oh yeah. And that's I Am Legend. I'm excited for both of these movies. So, but yeah. Sweet, sweet, sweet. Thank you guys for showing up, talking about The Craft and A Nightmare on Elm Street with me. You guys enjoyed.
Thank you for having us.
I always enjoy when you guys come on out. Oh, I get dropped this time? Or no, I'm stupid. But yeah, no. Those are two very good movies. I enjoyed both of them, and now I'm excited on to watch these two. On Friday, I'll be hosting a bring your own subscription. So whoever wants to join and watch it with me can join and watch. We'll be watching those, and then we'll probably be doing the movie club over the weekend. That works for you guys.
Can't wait.
Unfortunately, I'll be moving, but I will be watching.
Okay, that's totally
And
fine.
chat.
That's all good. Yeah. Thank you everybody for coming and watching. Always really appreciate it. I think Nina, Zara, and now coming. If you guys want to plug your guys' things real quick, like usual.
My X Twitter is Zara __ C __, and my Twitch is Zara Cassini.
My Twitter is Nina Beton and YouTube with the same name. Debuting soon.
Nice. Sounds good. But yeah, that's all we had for you guys for today. I hope you everybody enjoyed watching or liked our hearing our opinions on our two movies. See you again on Friday and this weekend for the movie club. So have a good rest of your night, guys, and I don't know, stay scared. I guess it's Halloween. So, but yeah. Goodbye, everybody.